Good morning again. This is the day after the video about that red oak, and I thought I would do it on this black cherry. I know I've already done a black cherry video, but that stuff was kind of dead, and this is fresher cut. I think I cut this back in December. It was the remnants of a tree trimming crew, and I said I'll take whatever I can get out of it, and they left me a lot. So I've been splitting on it a while, and I've got a little bit left over. These are some bigger pieces, which are definitely the types of pieces I'm going to sell. Some longer pieces, but it's some pretty big wood for cherry for where I'm from, and so just gonna break it apart and show you all about that. And I've also got a double bit and a maul. My wooden wedge came out of my maul, which makes it kind of dangerous, so I'll have to watch this thing. I think I'm going to try and pull that steel wedge out and put another one in with some glue. But both of these were eBay finds. I think this one was a new old stock. It's American made. I don't know the brand. It does say wear safety goggles, which makes me think it's relatively new. And this is an unmarked double bit that I really like. Kind of got that Swedish vibe to it, but there's no marks, so I don't know. I didn't put an edge on it because I knew I wanted to use it for splitting. I'm really a single bit maul type of a splitter, but every once in a while it's fun to get the double bits out. If I had just one, it definitely wouldn't be one of these, but I do like them from time to time. Good straight handle. So yeah, this is black cherry and some big wood here, so let's see what it does. It's got some dead inclusion in it. This is carpenter ants. They'll get into a hollow and make a whole big nest in there. And it's got a couple of big limbs. Cherry oftentimes has limbs growing vertically beside and with the trunk, and those get absorbed into the trunk as they die, and then that creates a void. And some of these are not cut straight across. These are like the ends of the cuts of the trunks and the limbs that the tree trimmers dropped, and so instead of cutting them twice, I just left the funky end on. You'll see. You know, look at all those carpenter ants. Ooh. And a salamander. Let's see if I can't get him out of there. He's just waking up. All right, sorry everybody. Good morning. It's going to be in the mid-60s today, so this hopefully won't destroy him. I'm going to put him under a wood pile and he can live for the year. All right. Same principle though. You know, all this wood splitting is kind of the same. Most of these trees you treat the same. I'm going to try and do some flicking as well. It doesn't really work as well on some of this wood, but cherry is one of those woods too that if you split oak, it's going to split in these triangle wedges. But cherry has a weakness in the way it grows. Like I hit right here, hope you can see this, and it split off around the tree, like around the ring. So if I hit there again, this will probably come off, but it's going to start pulling that away too, which kind of makes this wood a good candidate to chip away the outside. Don't have to, it's not hard. But if you ran into some bad spots and you may need to avoid them, you could easily do that. So, there we go. It's a bit gross. And cherry's a medium wood. I think I've talked about this some before, but in case you didn't catch that one. Definitely coal's better than hackberry, those types, but it's not an all-nighter. Has a really sweet smell when you burn it. That whole hillside. Permeates across the whole hillside. Smells kind of like barbecue, and I don't mean the barbecue grill, I mean the barbecue food, which I think where I'm from is a noun. In other places, to barbecue is to grill out, or a verb, cultural thing there. Come here for wood splitting and get culture. Right, maybe not. Yeah, so I went right at that crack that formed, and that's gonna pop away. You can see the grain in this thing is twisted. That's causing all this tension up top, which is why it's not splitting so easy. I'm also using a light axe, and I'm hitting it with pretty good chunk sizes. So I may skip this for a minute. Pick this guy up. Check out this handle. It's a teeny little handle at the end. But I bought it because it was straight, straight single bit. They don't make a lot of these anymore. They all got that fawn's foot. I like the straight one. And there's no real swell down here. Now notice two things. One, it's a much more solid thud, and it doesn't stick. Ooh. Yes. The other thing about splitting wood that some people talk about is, oh man, you're wearing yourself out, or you're doing it the hard way, or it's hard to watch because you should get a maul, or blah 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 blah. You gotta understand, I can't go to the gym. I've tried it. I've tried home workouts. I've tried the video thing. I've tried self-motivated. I've tried body weight stuff. I've tried all that stuff. And none of it works for me. The only thing that is constant through the years for me is the woodlot. And it's not a wintertime only. I split wood if it's 95 degrees outside, and I split wood if it's 9 degrees outside. I split wood if it's wet, if it's dry. As long as I got light and I got time to do it, this is my workout. Now, I may not be working out my deltas or my lats, and I might not have a good gain or a macro, or I'm just trying to think of terms I hear about. But if you're walking around lifting these up and down, drop them on your leg, there's not a big difference in my mind, especially when it's time to split, it's time to stack it, and I've got to get a couple of arm loads of split wood and bend over and take it over to the wood pile. And so it's not just, you get kind of everything. You get the picking up the big stuff, you get the swinging the axe, which really gets the heart rate kind of going, especially if you're swinging over and over again at big rounds. You get a little cardio when it's time to haul it to the pile. I don't know. I'm no nutritionist, and I'm definitely no workout expert, but kind of feel like they invented gyms for people who can't get out and do this kind of stuff, because people stopped getting out and doing this kind of stuff. And this is just my speed. Plus I'm making firewood that I can sell, or, which is most of the time, it's really not that I can sell it, it's that I'm the firewood guy. So my buddy, my neighbor says, "Hey man, I'm having some people over, can I come get an armload of firewood?" Heck yeah, dude. Or if it's cold, like we had that big chilly blast around Christmas this year, it got the coldest it got where I am in 40 years almost. Well, I was in shorts and t-shirt in the house, sitting by the fire. Just realized I had gloves on. I don't like wearing gloves because it makes it slippery. Did you see that pop out of there? So if you got a piece of wood that's got some tension in it, you get it really lightly stuck, sometimes that wood comes back together, and I've released it now, but it could pop that back out. Don't ever be leaning over like this getting it out, because it can pop out and smack you. Was I talking about cherry? Kind of got on the whole fitness thing. And I'm sure there are ways with more diet and added exercise that I could bulk and or slim faster. But for me, it's in my head. It's mental. I get a lot of peace from this, because I don't have to use my head. Don't have to listen to any music kind of crap going on. No one's yelling at me. The birds are singing. This is it for me. And of course the rewards of having wood heat. Okay, back to cherry, I guess. These big pieces split relatively well. These angled pieces like this are kind of funky, but it's a straight grain. So I knew it wasn't gonna be too bad. Propane goon. The other thing too about kind of a heavier maul, this is a 6 or an 8. I can't tell, the stamp is pretty crummy. It's not a 30-pounder. One of these days I'll get the big sledge out when I get some real big wood to use the sledges and the wedges on. I think it's a 16-pounder. But a maul versus that small axe just won't work on this kind of wood very good. And if you're thinking about working out, using this as a workout, you can definitely tell this tool versus that one, both when you're swinging, when you're hitting the, see it pop out like that, when you're swinging, when you're hitting the wood, because of how it reacts, and after you're done, this thing will boost the heart rate. I'm gonna nail this one time. An accordion here. Stuff going on. This is a good time for the lighter axe. I really just want to cleave away at some of these, not knocking it all over. I don't think that's going to work, so I'll get that one. Yeah. Get this one. Son of a bitch. Sometimes you miss stuff, you know. I get pretty good accuracy with these things, but every once in a while. Should I repeat that in slow-mo? Another thing about, I guess the title of this video is going to be rambling, because that's what I'm doing today. I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to get out here and make a video. Another thing about wet wood is, I know yesterday I talked about you can grind off your calluses if you get your hands wet and handle it, but it's just a hint slippery, and that bark can scratch up your palms, tear. Okay, ready for the stack. I got one more here. Let's see if I can't flick it. I don't really use the flick method. There is a really cool video of this gal up in Canada walking around bare feet with a double bit. I think if you had red maple and that's all you had, or some kind of softwood, that'd be the way to do it. I don't know if I flick it at the wrong time or what, but I don't do that way. This one's got a decent knot over here, old knot there, pin knot there, one there. I'll try. Okay, that was it. I'm gonna go all the way over here. No, it's okay. I try not to hit it so hard that it runs away. It just doesn't seem necessary. But you know, bending over to pick it up, walking over to get it, walking it around, it's all good for you. I think we try to make too many hard tasks easy. And you know, if you got to feed a bunch of animals, you got a mile of fences you got to work on, you got to cut a bunch of crops or plant a bunch, or you're walking on concrete all day. I get it. But this is about as heavy as it gets for me because of my job, which is an outside job some of the time. And you know, if I've been outside all day and my feet hurt and my back hurts, my legs hurt, dehydrated from sweating, it'd be pretty rare for me to come out here and do anything. And if I did, I sure as hell wouldn't want to do it the hard way. But if I know I'm going to go sit on my keister for a few hours, then yeah, I want it to be hard. Like I said, this is the gym. See, these double bits just don't have the juice. And maybe if it weighed more, but this is this to me, it's got a number 7 on it. 2 number 7, and I don't know, another number 7. It's just, it's not for this kind of wood. That oak. All right, let's get that red oak over here. We'll do the urban tree, the residential model today. See, I mean, it's plenty big. Okay, now hey, if you're cutting your firewood and you don't have time to split it the day you cut it, stack it on the end like this if you can, because that ground side will be fresh and moist and green and not split. If you don't, you get a dried out side like that. Sun will dry it out. This was not too bad, but that doesn't make it the easiest to split. However, this is oak. Oak just don't care like that cherry does. All the way down here. Now I barely swung at that. And if it had been splitting axe, that would have popped off, but pretty clean. I mean, look, there's no fibers. 1, 2 that are less than a 1/16 wide and less than an inch long. And that's clean. So this axe is good at that. All axes are good at this slopes. If I could hit the same spot twice, it would be even better. This is why, you know, oak is one of those green woodworking woods. These guys make shingles out of white oak, chairs out of different oaks. This is, you know, red oak, city grown, but it's almost a board. This is small firewood, but I got a little wood stove in my shop. This will be nice next year. Okay, here we go, more. See? This wouldn't happen with this old boy. Now you can use metal on metal like this if you tap it real gentle like. But honestly, I don't even like doing that. A handy piece of hackleberry does a really good job. So see, I'm just done. Let's go back to this bad boy. And I'm gonna swing left-handed. I'm not as good with the left. Huh. Well, this way. I would encourage you to swap hands though, if I'm your wood chopping trainer for the day. If there's nobody around you and you've got safety, and you've got, not because you look like a doofus, I look like a doofus, but I'm gonna put this on the internet. If you've got a big wood to split, use your left hand or your right hand, your offhand. Because if you're trying to do this small stuff, you might miss it. It's just easier to hit the big stuff. See, I can feel that in my left shoulder. Can't tell anything in my right, and I've been doing this for 20-30 minutes. Just that little bit really heats up that left, because it's not used to it. What I usually do, wow, this is being a bear. What I usually do is, when I'm hauling wood to stack, I do it in the left arm because I've been splitting with the right. Let's also talk about how many times wood warms you. Cut your own wood and it'll warm you twice. Well, that ain't right. Maybe the old timer who came up with that, maybe he just didn't go to school like he should have. Maybe he was too busy on the farm. But wood should heat you about 8 times. Now, only in the burning does it heat your home, but you got to cut it with the saw. That's once. Then you got to load it to haul it. That's 2. Then you got to unload it. That's 3. And I'm talking about by hand. I don't use a tractor. I don't use a front end loader. I use a trailer and a pickup truck. Every once in a while I get a kid to help me. All right, then we got to haul it, which the truck does. So we'll give that one to the truck. Then we gotta unload it. Unloading it by hand. No dump beds here, boys. Cut it, load it, unload it. Yeah. Then you gotta split it, depending on how much you got. Well, I guess that was just destined to not be split. But let's say you just got enough to split it all in one session. That's 4. Cut it, load it, unload it, split it, stack it. That's 5. Unless you stack it to sit for an entire year, where you're gonna burn it. So like I stack mine out here in the sun and the rain, and then in the fall, I load it back up. That's 6. And then I unload it in the woodshed by the wood stove. That's 7. Then I burn it. That's 8. All right, that's all I got. Next time we'll talk about, I don't know, I'm kind of open to whatever. Next time I get a new tree in, maybe we'll talk about that. I know I got to cut some more red maple soon and a little hard maple. And when I get my tuatahi back, I will review that, since that's been on some people's minds. Of course, you can see how it does. Some of the other videos where I screw up and get it stuck, but it's not really me talking about it all that much. So, will do. All right, see you next time.